So I re-rigged this on my engine lift. I think this is going to be a lot easier to do. I put my leveler in line. Whoever invented this thing, I hope they went on to become very, very wealthy, because it's the greatest invention in the world. So I'm just going to very slowly move the housing in place. I need to lift it up a little bit. And I need to shift the nose up here and the back down. This is the greatest thing about these. Look at that. It just goes right into place. Let's take and pull this in. See if I can line up my pins. I've got this a little bit cockeyed, but I don't think it's going to. Those pins like to push back in on me. So I can drive them back in. See if I can get one of them at a time to align. I need to bring it up a little bit more. This is always a little tricky. Except now I think I could take and cheat this a little bit. Okay, let's bring this in. Both of my pins just got pushed completely in, which is fine. Let me see if I can grab it with a bolt. And I either need to go up or down. Let's go up. And I need that to go up as well. I think I'm going the wrong way. I was. I'm going to try to catch this bolt here. I just need to bring the whole housing up a little bit. Alright, I'm just going to bring the whole thing up a little. I don't know if I'm going to get this up. I think I brought it a little bit too much. Come around and just adjust this a touch. Let's see if that'll do it. There, I grabbed it with the bolt. I just pulled it in just a wee bit. Okay, as far as it's going to let me take that in. Now I got to lower it a little bit. See if I can make that work there. Try another bolt. Oop, I need to go down a little bit more. Much easier doing it this way though than trying to lift it by hand, isn't it? Up too much. And up just a touch. Make sure to get my bolt in. It did. Look to make sure that there is no gasket that went in. I'm pretty sure there isn't. I don't see why there would be. if I can level this out a little now. See if I can tighten these up. Yeah, they're going a lot easier now. That one's good and snug down. As is that one. Let's see, I put a little more on that. Look at that, we have a torque tube back on. Let me take and throw a couple more bolts in it. Inside here. This part's always fun. Now you guys can see what I got going on in here. See, I can finger tight that in a little bit. Having this engine lift definitely makes this easier. I'll tell you that right now. Any of you guys that can do this without one of these, you're tougher than I am. Because this definitely makes it easier. Alright, let's get these tightened up a little. Oops. You can see that my pins popped out on me. We'll drive those back in here in just a second. Let me grab that dead blow. Alright, pins. Yeah. Not very interested in it now, are they? Let me try somebody a little more. A little more persuasive. There. Now they're in. And we'll take our last two bolts. I was just checking out how oily that was. Hope it's not leaking already. There's nothing in it to leak. How could it leak? Don't ask, right? All right. Let's get these tightened up. Snug up this side. This is not easy to do. I'm leaning over the bottom legs of the engine lift here. And it's not easy to do. Alright. There we go. We're snug enough now where we can take and we'll pull the engine lift off and we'll go under and we'll really tighten everybody up real good. I'm going to give these a couple turns before we take the engine lift off. Alright, let's take this engine lift off. So the next thing that we have that needs to go in here is this clutch shaft carrier. It's 2 bolts. It just slides right in real easily here over the shaft. I might put a little grease. Well, it rides loose on it. It doesn't hang on. It's just the carrier. I was going to put a little grease in there. I don't think we need to because I don't think it really rides on that. If it does, we'll squirt something in there at a later date. I don't think we need it right now. Okay, and that's all that does. I'm pretty sure I have that the right way. Nope, how do you like that? I have that the wrong way. That goes the other direction. That is why we check our parts diagrams. That goes that way. I'm sure all you international guys were just giving me a hard time on that. You got it the wrong way, you dummy. That's why I look at my pictures. First time, let me get a wrench for those. Alright, and they got too small of a socket. I thought I was too big. Alright. Take and snug these up. The bolts that hold the torque tube to the transmission, I took and I torqued them just because of all the cracks and the issues we've had. I figure it might be best to torque them so that they were all at the same level of tightness. It was 112 foot-pounds on all 6 of them, so got that torqued in. As you can see now, we have our carrier is in. Now we can put our cross shaft in here for the clutch release. Let me get that and get set up for that. So I've got all the pieces here that we need to put the clutch release in. I have the new bearing that I pressed onto the carrier. I have our spring here, our bolts, the 2 washers that act as keys when they go in here. We're set to put it all together. The only thing I need to do is I'm just going to put a little bit of grease in the holes where the rod goes through, just so it's not dry. This has all been cleaned up. We'll take and grease all this before we go to use it. So, in putting this in here, this goes down. So I'm just going to stick this in here a bit because the next thing I need to do is kind of put all this together in one unit. This goes this way. The bolts in the back, the bolts go from the bottom and they screw into the top. But before we can put those in, I need to put these washers into the key slots on that shaft. And that's probably going to be the trick. So let's just get this on here first. And we'll get this shaft all the way across. There we go. Okay, we've got that on. Now let me grab my washers, my bolts. I'm going to go down below here to do this. Hopefully my fat head doesn't get in your way. And I am kind of doing this by feel. So there's somewhere. I might need to back that out just a touch. Let's get this in the slot, if I can even feel where the slot is. It's right there. Let's see what I can do from this side. This is going to be tricky because you can't see it at all. Maybe what I should do is take and flip that so that you can see it. Problem is that needs to go that way. Let's see if I can do it so I can see what I'm doing. I gotta grab that other space, that washer. All right. I can just barely get it there and I run out of steam. Ah, twisted on me, sucker. Hold on that back side, right? Oh no. Whoops. Okay. This is not going to be an easy thing to do at all. I was right when we took this apart. I said, man, it's going to be tough to get back in. Boy, was I ever right. With that in, the only thing I have left to do is to attach my clutch pedal up here. Let's see if I can get this guy to go in here. We're going to have to adjust this, I would imagine, but we're going to save that for later once we get to the point where it's time to start adjusting stuff and starting this tractor. In the meantime, I say I can get my cotter pin to go in there. That was definitely a wrestling match, I'll tell you that right now. That was not easy to do. But it's definitely easier doing it from the bottom like I did and the way I did it. I don't think I would have gotten it the other way. It was too tight of an area to work in. So if you go to do it, I would hook it onto the clutch bearing carrier, and then try to hook it on that back pin up and back. That was much easier. This cotter pin is spread just enough to make it not wanting to go in. There it goes. I got my cotter pin in. I'm just going to take and spread it open. And that, of course, is always a wrestling match for me. Just going to get a pair of pliers and hold the other end of it while I spread it. I'm going to open it all the way up too. That way it won't get caught on anything or anything like that. We'll just totally collapse it. And get it this way as well. Open up my pliers a little bit. There we are. Yeah. We have a working clutch pedal. That's hooked back up. Got a lot done today. Torque tube's back on. We're out of the transmission. Things are moving forward. Next time we're together, we'll take and put the belly pump in. We're going to take and look at getting the clutch put in. What's amazing is we are almost at the point that we were when we started this whole program. So come back next time. We'll work on all that stuff that's up in here, get the belly pump in, the clutch, then move on to the engine. We'll actually be able to look at something different for a little bit. Thank you guys for being here today. I'm Greg Mipps for All American Tractor Works. If you like what you saw today, remember to hit like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.